Good day to all of you out there listening on VRChat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are finally back after a 3 week leave. A lot of us were busy with things, including myself, but we are now back in business and we got a show for you today. Today, we'll covering a lot of things. Right now, I will go ahead and introduce our speakers here. We have Lizard Arsenal, the director over here. We have Shadow right beside me.
Hello?
Doing that stuff too, and we also have Danger right over here. So, how we'll run today's stream is I'm gonna obviously give my updates as always. We'll also be, giving the VRChat updates by Shadow. Then we'll give Mafia updates with Lizard, and some random updates with Danger. Then after that, we also have an interview. It's gonna be actually a really great interview. We have quite a lot of people on standby for that, so that will be a lot of fun for that. Anyways, other than that, let me go ahead and get started here. So, SA Studios, the updates. Well, actually for once I don't think we really have anything. Other than we may have more communities coming in possibly. We would love to see more of that. We definitely are reaching our arms out to any communities. So if you're wishing to be affiliated with us, maybe cover stuff like that, cover your community, anything like that on news segments, and we're also looking into possibly...
We do have new people who joined up, like Danger, who is officially part of our team, and we have a new stream host that is Baked Potato. Don't forget that.
Yep. Baked Potato is currently watching our stream, so he's right in the chats. And Danger, I've heard he's been doing a phenomenal job with what he's been doing so far. I'm so
Thank
great
you.
to hear that. Of course, you're welcome. But other than that, for updates, that's basically it. Just know we're still looking forward to reaching out to more communities and covering more communities, as always. And we're also looking for more reporters and whatnot. We definitely need a lot more of those, and media people. Really in need of those. So feel free to fill out the application, join our Discord in the description. Other than that, that's all I got. So, other than that, here's Shadow with the VRChat updates.
Thank you, Andrew. I've only pointed out 3 because fuck the 4th one. That's when I overslept. But on June 16, I'm sure all of you noticed that they added regions to the instances, like United States, Japanese, and I forget the 3rd one. Don't care. Then there's June 17th. There's the fixes and the changes. They fixed many things. I'm going to specifically just read what I have here. Fixed many, but by many I mean not some issues that aren't really important. Besides the small things like locomotion and tracking, because apparently there were some issues with those. Then June 24th, they added some vegetation to some help. Fuck, I can't read. Can't read my own handwriting. To help something with people becoming invisible. You know how your avatars become invisible, you can't hear them, so you have to hide their avatar and not hide them just to see them again. They did something with that apparently, but still a fucking issue. And that's about it. Literally, they fixed absolutely nothing.
Well then. Anyways, here is Lizard with the Mafia updates. Lizard.
Hello. One moment, my screen just went white. I can't read anything that's coming up again. Okay, there we go. Hello, I'm Lizard. Here with Mafia, I have a story given to me by a anonymous source. Oh, no, it can't be anonymous. Leomaris. From June 16th, they had a brief moment of internet after a long time without it, and the first thing they do was challenge Grand Vita Mortem to a draw your weapon match. Leomaris won 2 times, but immediately gets hushed by the silence of a pistol, which I'm sure to be done after this. So, just a little bit of fun with that. In other news, the Great Depression has hit the Mafia community. You will now starve if you don't eat. The money is now lower, and all of that fun jazz. So yeah, be aware of that. If you're in the community, if you're not in the community, and you want to be part of the depression because you're emo, come and join. I'm just joking on that part. Don't take offense to that. Anyways, if I missed anything, I'm going to toss it over to Danger.
Ready?
I thank you. Right, going back to the Draw Your Weapon challenge, the current World Jam is still ongoing, and it's gained the popularity of a lot of the VRChat public.
with, like they said, the current top world in the jam appearing to be Draw Your Weapon, which I've played it multiple times, and it is very fun, and it definitely does deserve the #1 spot in this world jam. It's amazing. In other news, we have the Just Be Club is under a current takeover of course, Mirror Dwellers. They seem to have taken control over the club and have seemed to forego all of the other prominent features in favor of the all-seeing mirror in almost every single room. And speaking of takeovers, it seems that VRChat is not safe from plagues, as now Dream stands have begun to invade VRChat with the creation of the Dream SMP avatar world, which as of recording this has 123 people in it. So you better start locking your doors and staying away from YouTube for a while. Right? That is all. I think we're continuing.
I would like to add something, because I like being a little bit stupid. To the random news is that Jack's gonna hate me for this if he ever finds out, but he's insecure about his chin. I told you I'm gonna say this. He's insecure about his chin because he can't grow hair right underneath his chin.
Lovely.
Wow, thank you, Shadow, for exposing that piece of personal information.
Yes, I'm also going to add something on the little tidbit of warnings. Great Pug, be advised that it is home to a community of people who like to be crashers and be vigilantes. So if you do run in their eyes, they will crash you on sight. Be advised to stay clear of the Great Pug.
Unfortunate. Crashers nowadays. Back then there was no crashers. Anyways, so other than that, that's all the news we got for you this week. So we're gonna go ahead and come back here afterwards. Well, actually, we'll probably end over there. Now we got our interview segment. So other than that, we'll see you over there, and then we'll close out over there. So I'll see you guys over there. Okay, world volume should be on. I'll still be talking through Discord, of course, but they should be able to hear you now. So you guys are welcome to speak. I have Grand here. We have Wicked as well. Grand is from I just fucked that up. Okay, Grand is from the Syndicate, of course. We all know him as well. He's been on the show quite a few times here. And we have Wicked with us today, special guest here. They are representing S.H.I.E.L.D. We'll probably ask some questions about that too. So Wicked is right here beside Grand. And also we have Ablard at the end there. Pulled him in because he's done some interesting things in VRChat recently, so we have a special guest with him as well. I appreciate all three of you for coming in today. I was actually only expecting maybe 2 or 1 person to show up, but it's amazing to see all 3 of you here. Other than that, we'll go ahead and get started. You guys are welcome to unmute, by the way. Don't feel restricted to that. This is open conversation. Don't feel restricted.
Wonderful.
Alright, so...
Do you want us talking on the Discord or in game?
Blizzard, we never really did talk about that.
Well, we're all
Discord
in
would be easier to hear.
Yeah, we'll do Discord. So
Discord would be preferable.
Alright, so...
Yes.
Alright, so questions. Alright, so I actually have a question that's really broad, and actually all of you can answer this. So, and this is a big question too, because I've been asked this question myself. What brought all 3 of you to VRChat in general? Like, the game. And if someone brought it to you, who was that individual? All 3 of you are welcome to answer this. It doesn't have to be a specific order. Whoever wishes to speak.
I mean, for me personally, it was just wanting to, find new people and, just sort of communicate with others as much as possible. because I love making people laugh and have fun. So it was just about that really at the beginning, and then of course it actually evolved into something that I actually created that could actually implement what I came to do here. So that was basically it, really. I just kind of came across it and was like, this sounds fun, and yeah.
Awesome. Always love hearing stories about others. So, Abelard or Grand, whoever wishes to go.
Well, what really brought me to VRChat was really just pure curiosity. One day I just watched a video on it, and then I was like, I wonder if this thing would support desktop. And so I went on Steam, and then sure enough, there it was. So I came on, and here I am to this day.
Alrighty, amazing. I was a desktop user too. I think all of us were. Let's be honest here. So, Grand, what brought you to VRChat?
Well, once upon a time, there was a video by a person by the name of VR Funny, and they were doing a little thing on a person with a clown face, and I was like, that's funny. And then there was another person who was dancing. Then there was a tiny lolly that was being beaten, and I just knew that I would fit in right there with that whole scene. From the concept of doing Twitch prior to doing interaction with the community in that aspect, I was like, well, might as well try it.
Awesome. I actually might as well put my input in on this. The way I got in VRChat actually was one of you mentioned it with videos, I believe. Actually, I think it was you, Grant. I think it was just you, Grant, actually. So, actually, how I got in, I was just scrolling around on YouTube because everyone's watching YouTube anymore. Then I came across this streamer. You guys have probably heard the name. James Ski. He did a VRChat in a nutshell video, and I'm like, oh, this is funny. I want to hop in on the action. And after that, I hopped in around 2018, I believe, and that was when the Knuckles thing was going around. And let me tell you, every world you went to, there was at least one. At least one. Now you barely ever see them. But at least it wasn't
the
like the
Knuckle
brushes.
Crisis.
At least it wasn't the brushes, because I feel like the brushes was worse. At least to me. But anyways, yeah, that was kind of how I was brought into the game, and ever since I've been on and off, but I've been really active on it recently, especially in 2021. I've been very active. But yeah, that's what really brought me to the game in its entirety. It's a lot of fun. Now, second question here. This is another one that all of you can answer, I would believe. So, what lessons have you learned from VRChat? Whether they be life lessons, lessons within the game, anything like that.
That's a good question, actually. I'm trying to think. I guess, like outside of VRChat, we've got to learn to respect each other no matter who we are, wherever we come from, And I think that's what's beautiful about VRChat is that even though we're behind a VR or a monitor or whatever, we can be somebody else, but we say that we're somebody else, but not necessarily, we're still the same person underneath, and we can find more friends here than anywhere else because no one's judging you for what you look like, what you sound like. So it's really magical to be on a platform like this, really.
Very strong words. Abelard, it sounds like we're going in order, which I don't mind at all. Abelard, what about yourself?
Well, some of the things that I've actually learned from VRChat, actually some life lessons. One, of course, treat people how you'd actually want to be treated, because they are people too. But most of all, just have fun. Just if someone's trying to talk to you, have a conversation. If you want to role play with someone. I kind of learned some of the basic stuff from VRChat, honestly.
Awesome. How about you, Grand?
Oh, you're gonna love this one. Well, one of the lessons that I learned from my time in VRChat is that people are cruel. There's always going to be the people that are cruel to you and to others, and there's no way to, full on get rid of them. So what you have to do in the inverse is you have to create a world or create a place, create a community, a group together with your friends and anybody that you wish that can stand against this tide of darkness. My life lesson from this whole thing of VRChat was that there are still good people that exist out there, and they are far stronger than the bad that exist out there in the world. And their names are a lot more important to you specifically than others.
Very well spoken words, guys. But personally, for me, what VRChat's definitely taught me is, don't judge a book by its cover, for one. Because you never know what the person may be and what they may hold. Just because they messed up once doesn't mean they're a mess up forever. That's not what that means. I look into every individual. I always interact with people. Of course, trolls are a different story, which teaches you a life lesson too. That, hey, not everyone's gonna, play along or anything like that. But overall, it's definitely bettered myself and others, I would say. And I definitely love how that is done and how the community itself builds up to the gangs up together and, it's just wholesome and all. And that I absolutely love. All right. This is the third and final question that everyone can answer. And this one, I think, is kind of easy. It could be easy, could be hard. Will you ever decide on leaving VRChat? Any of you? Do you ever decide on leaving VRChat, or ever plan on leaving? Anything like that? Wicked?
I mean, planning on leaving the platform, no. But, inevitably everything must come to an end, one day, I won't be able to play VRChat. But I know people that, are well in their, 60s or something that come on this game and play and hang out. And they're not weirdos or anything. They're, genuine people who just want to socialize. And especially over the last few years with this COVID and all this nonsense, this is the only way that people have been able to get genuinely close with others and, socialize like normal. So, for as long as I can think, I'll probably stick around, whether it's still running the community like I am now or, just helping out in other ways. I'll probably just stick it around for a while.
Okay. What about you, Ablard?
Well, no, I don't plan on leaving. Have I had thoughts of leaving? Sometimes, though I don't plan on leaving only because of how many friends I've met, and heck, I even met my girlfriend on here, so I mean, I'm happy to be here.
Well-spoken words. Rand?
See, now that one is a bit of a... I've always been a type of person who over-prepares. I over-prepared extensively. If it came to, something going on with VRChat that was wholeheartedly something that I could not stand for or be able to operate with, and my people were suffering because of it, we've already had plans and talks about if something goes wrong with VRChat, where are we gonna go? We've talked about Chill Out VR. We've talked about various other platforms or games that are free or relatively cheap that we can all get our people towards. We've had these conversations, but am I actively going to leave the community, or if I'm going to leave the VRChat overall? I don't think so. I mean, I've heard a lot about what the staff, VRChat devs and moderation team are talking about and coming into the future stuff. I've heard what they're going on about, and I'm in for it. I'm interested. I'm rooting for them to get that shit done. But some things might happen down the line that makes things get a bit rickety. So it's too difficult to say specifically now. I don't intend to, but if I must, then I will.
For me, the thought has crossed me before. Am I ever going to leave VRChat? Because actually, what happened was, I was playing in 2018 on desktop, then I kind of got bored of it, so I hopped off the platform for a while, then I returned for a brief moment in 2019. But then once I got my VR headset, the funny thing is, The first game I hopped on was VRChat. That was the first ever VR game I wanted to try, and that was what I did. So right when I got my headset, I went straight to VRChat. No other games, just VRChat. And ever since 2020, I've been on. I have no plans of leaving, but as Grand said, and the rest of you have said before, unless something comes up, whether it be like more clients hackers or like it's impossible to play the game or something like that, where like people are, it's just commotionous and everything, then then that would be my time. I'd probably be deciding that. But right now, I don't have any plans for that, and I plan on staying for quite some time. I mean, this is basically the game I mainly play every day, and I've gained hundreds of hours in a week. Weeks, actually. So, yep. All right.
Andrew, and before we continue, does anyone in the back want to answer any of the questions? You're not fucking
yes.
decorations.
Oh, yes. Anyone.
If you want to, but you're not decorations. This is gonna say this.
Yeah, you guys are welcome.
Of course, they are. Look at Ginger.
I haven't studied for this test.
Oh my god. Do you want to say your awful joke, Ginger? The awful joke that nobody likes?
Awful joke.
Yes.
Which one?
The boxing
Is
one.
money?
I know.
God, no.
Yes,
Let's talk about the
Triple,
box.
talk to us.
Okay, good.
I mean, yeah. That's another
Well,
thing, too.
boys.
If you guys want to chime into the questions, too, just shout out at me. I'm mainly asking these three, but also you guys are now welcome. The floor's open. If you guys want to answer one of the questions I've told, you guys can do so now. Whether it be...
About the life lessons, I might have some wisdom.
All right.
Life lessons from VRChat. If you feel bad about yourself, you should remember that somewhere in the VRChat world there's a screaming brush running around.
Sounds like a quote.
That is wisdom.
That would be such a good
Oh
quote.
my god.
That is such a good quote. And definitely a life lesson, too.
Someone out there has a
Who
Ugandan
needs to get
Knuckles
that
as
on
their main
t-shirt?
avatar.
Yeah, I've seen those people.
I actually went to the Uganda world once and actually saw the guy who owns the world currently, and I didn't even think I'd run into that guy. I was just messing around with a few buddies.
God.
I'm like, hey, I'm going to send you back to Uganda. And I ran into him somehow. Don't know how that happens, but yeah. Somehow. So, I'm going to start splitting up questions. Some of them will be individual to people who are in the back, people who are sitting here, and actually some people on the team as well. Lizard, Shadow, because why not? This is an open floor conversation. And after that, we'll conversate, and then after that, we'll end off. So, Abe Lord, here's a question for you. Okay, and this is definitely for you. Just you. On instigations, because for those of you who don't know, give some background. He's done instigations and whatnot before, whether it be with groups or whatever. He's also shot me in the face. That's how I met him. He didn't shoot. No, he did shoot me in the face. That's kind of how I did meet him. Also, people said, like, be wary of him, and it was going around, which I thought was kind of cool. He's also been doing it for quite some time now, I believe. But anyways, on that subject of crime, and Grand, I know, is an expert in crime as well. But
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a family businessman.
So, Abler, the question is, what is your most favorite instigation that you've ever done, and why? Why was it your most favorite?
Oh God, there are many of these ones. It would either have to be probably the first one. I got the SWAT team called on me. Me and a partner of mine, we just went full out. I had an MG34. She had a Chris Vector. We took one of the officers hostage, and immediately after taking one of them hostage, we immediately got into a altercation with the other officers, and immediately just started firing until we let's see. One of the negotiations we did was I needed the officer that was over there first, because whenever I was doing this stuff, I had a small list of people that I was going to instigate. This person was on the list, so I was like, all right, need to get him. So we take one of his officers hostage, use them as a bargaining method. Soon after we get him in there, then we see the SWAT team running up the stairs, riot shields and all. Yeah, let's just say things got dirty real quick. We ended up getting shot a lot. But before we went down, we ended up shooting the hostages, and yeah, after that we got mugshots. It was very interesting. And the reason why it was my favorite is because, well, it was fun.
I've had actually a similar instigation to that. Me and a few others we had NCR Ranger skins. I don't know if you guys have seen those before. Some of you probably have. We had those. We had about 5 of us or 4 of us, and then next thing you know, that LPD sends in like the SLRT units, the SWAT team, and we had like I think both of them come in, and we had like 3 squads there. It was crazy. And then I think this was possibly when instigations weren't too much of a problem, and LPD and it didn't really matter too much, I believe. But yeah, that's what happened. All right, Wicked. All right.
Hello.
Question for you and you only. So, and this one's regarding police work and SHIELD and all that. So, what have you done as an officer? Like, what brought you to do SHIELD? Like, what was your main motivation to step up, help out with SHIELD, and build the community?
Well, I wasn't really the mastermind behind Shield. I owe that to the Gaming X site, who is the founder, who is now our commissioner and former sheriff. I've just taken his position as chief. So he's the real mastermind behind it. But the idea was just to have something a little bit different. So there's obviously a lot of amazing RP groups out there for police work, but we'd never really seen anything in terms of like sheriffs, and so we wanted to really explore that. So that's what we set out to do, and I think we're doing well. We've just hit 200, well, just over 250 members in the server, and we're growing. And I never want it to be like just community. It's a family, and not a family business like somebody here, but we're definitely a family. And we want to sort of extend our hand out to people that need somebody to talk to, or want a little bit of cheering up or something in a world, and we just want to go out there and help. So that's really why SHIELD came about. It was just to be able to do more and help others as much as possible. So that's really our duty when it comes to police work.
Well spoken. Well spoken. I will say about SHIELD, I definitely, when I joined SHIELD, which was a few weeks ago, I believe, or maybe a month ago, I thought it was quite interesting. I thought it would be a change because, it's different from police. Let's be honest here. It's different. Sheriffs work and operate differently. Like, here in my area, we have the police who are in the city and whatnot, and then the sheriffs, they go out in the county and whatnot, like out in the country.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool, and I wanted to see how that ran and whatnot, and I definitely enjoyed my time in SHIELD by far. And all the other groups I'm involved in, whether it be this, LPD, Mafia, all that stuff, I've enjoyed my time with all of those so far. And luckily I've been able to make a schedule on which ones I go to on which days, because before I could never make it to Syndicate events, and never could make it to SHIELD, and now I'm actually able to make it, which I want to apologize about, but at the same time, at least I'm showing up.
Yeah, that's
all that
matters.
At least I'm not an inactive person. Anyways,
Nah.
Grand, here's a question for you. What made you form the syndicate?
Whoa. Freeze for a second. We have from Kashi, who's keeping an eye on the chat. We have a question from the chat, if that's okay if I interject.
Absolutely.
I don't. It says from Dutch Doofus, which team does Rickett like the most in S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Well, all the teams in S.H.I.E.L.D., they do an excellent job every day. The events team are doing fantastic. Social media, dev team are working their ass off every day. We've actually just brought out a new team, which is called the DIS. So that's the Department of Internal Security. So we have our agents that are being trained as we speak, that will help our sergeants and staff file reports, whether they're just for RP, or they're, generally to help, staff out and sort issues out, or just help people out in general. So I'd say at the moment, they are definitely a new exciting team. I don't know about favorites. I'm not really one for picking a favorite. I love them all equally. But they are definitely the new boys on the block, and they're really going to be. It's a really exciting project. So I'm really excited to sort of push them out there and let them do their thing.
You should have favorites just to add some chaos into it.
Trust me, the chaos is not required.
It's a good incentive to make people do better.
Nah, they already do excellent without that, so,
All right. Well, thank you for answering that. Hope that answered the question.
Alrighty. That was an amazing... Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Actually, viewers can ask questions, too, to specific people. So...
Yes.
That was awesome that I heard that. I love hearing viewers come in and ask questions, because I didn't even think of that either. Anyways, Grand, here's the question for you.
That is me.
So, what made you form the syndicate? What gave you the idea of, hey, I'm going to make a roleplay group that is the Motijan Syndicate? What exactly gave you the idea of that? And was there an inspiration behind it, or anything like that?
Once upon a time, there was a wandering Twitch streamer by the name of Grand Vedamorum, who was wandering through the furry convention world, interviewing furries, trying to understand their culture. When all of a sudden, a wild group of Combine attacked, started gunning down and kidnapping furries in the world. I, being in character, had to react to it as I could. My cameraman, Medieval, or camera boy, Medieval, was, I was like, hey, you got a gun or something? And, he got out the original Lolly Mafia Miko Mobster avatar. And I cloned that, and then we fought off the Combine, and they took a couple of furries, but we beat the shit out of those Combine, and we pushed them out of the world. And, in my heart of hearts, I was like, I need to fight off these oppressors. I need to fight off all the oppressing groups that go around and, arrest and kidnap and beat up random citizens on the streets. So I went to the Black Cat and I went to Great Pug and I just gathered up everybody who was there. And I was like, listen, all of you are going to be joining the Mafia, the Lolly Mafia. And, you get to be a capo, you get to be another boss. You lead these groups and you're going to work with us so that we can go and do this. After about 2 days of doing this, it started to become a habit. And then we officially formed on October 14th, 2020. And after 2 weeks of, just constantly, myself recruiting and, gathering up the people that we had been hanging around with over the past few days, I recruited 112 people in 2 weeks by the end of October. The original, the concept behind it all, after a bit of time of sorting stuff out and working out the kinks of what we wish to be, we eventually came to the full-on conclusion that yes, we're going to be the Lolly Mafia, the only real public Lolly Mafia that exists in the present day of VRChat, and become the antagonists of VRChat. The metaverse needs, the metaverse needs a villain for the heroes to be heroes. I mean, if the police didn't have anybody to go after and, like arrest or anything, there'd be no use. There'd be no use for the police. There'd be no use for, the SCPs if there were no anomalies. There'd be no use for, the infighting of every single waifu group that exists on VRChat. So, the idea came from there. The world needed an enemy, the world needed an antagonist, just so that everybody could rally together and unify. The roleplay communities could unify together and, stand against the tide of, evil that is, the Lolly Mafia. And after we reached 500 members, we upgraded the community to become the Mortesian Syndicate. And, that's when I was able to finally become the Godfather. And then I was able to choose from amongst the ranks of members that we had new dons and new underbosses and capos underneath, so that they'd be able to create their own families, like Ginger and Dr. Dr. Grimm over there. Both of them are in charge of their own families within the syndicate, and they do, their own unique aspects of crime and just do as they do.
Always great hearing how communities are formed, because myself actually has been trying to form things and whatnot, but some of them died out, unfortunately, just because there was one group actually, and we actually had them partnered in here. We were going to call it the Mercenary Corps at VRChat, and we had quite a few people in there, and then it kind of sadly died out, and I wasn't able to speak to everyone. So that was on.
I'm starting to try to start out my own family too.
Oh yeah, it's always great to see communities being made.
Another thing, by the way, interjection from the commentary people who are watching. Sunny Sky has gifted everybody an imaginary cookie. Grand and Mafia members might not be allowed because cookies are controlled substances that are illegal for the Mafia. But wait a minute.
Cookies.
Why would you guys care about illegal? Why would you guys care about illegal?
Cookies are compilations of chocolate and sin.
I mean,
We are a
Anchor, so
vanilla
technically I
household.
bypass this.
Vanilla is the only flavor that could be consumed by members of the Mafia.
Yes.
It is the only one for our pure bodies and souls. Chocolate is a sin.
To be fair,
Especially dark
vanilla
chocolate.
is really awesome.
But I like chocolate.
Ah!
So,
Back to your cage, you. Poor boy. He never learns. Every single time we throw him in the cage, he just never learns. Throw him in, like, by the scruff of his neck, like, yeah! Into the cage with you. He gets into the chocolate, and then he gets into, like, the dog's chocolate, if you know what I mean. It's wild. It's wild.
oh god.
Oh no.
Specifically this dog's chocolate.
Oh, yeah, Gray is a dog.
Poor Lycan
Just
boy.
stay the fuck out of my yard.
Let's move on to the next question.
He
Yes.
marks every tree. He marks every corner. He was never potty trained when he was young.
Mark's
That was
Mark's Ginger's throne. Mark's Ginger's throne.
He did shit on one of the chairs in the Shikaku Club.
Listen, that was he incited the incident. It needed to be done. He
I
was
just
being
told you your breath
We
stinks.
have
You decided.
another
being rude.
question from the peanut gallery. From Lynn Simmons. Can the Mafia have butterscotch chip cookies?
If you take off the butter and chip cookies, sure.
I'll have some scotch.
Because that's how it works, right?
Exactly.
We always have cookies in our station. Sonny's actually one of our lieutenants, and he always stocks it up. We actually have a golden cookie, too. Yeah.
Gold do say.
a
I'm going to have to
golden
come by the station.
I'll make sure to put it in the vault then.
That's not going to stop me.
Please move on to the next question.
Yeah, we can do that. My apologies, guys. Alright, so I'm actually going to ask people now in the back, including, I'll ask our own last, because why not? We're the last ones. So I'm going to have to look my head up, so I'm going to be looking at the ceiling, but it's okay. Because OVR Toolkit will probably show on the stream, unfortunately. Alright,
Okay.
so this one's actually going to be to Baked Potato, because they're on the list here. Baked, are you still there with us? Just want to check in on that.
God, as always,
Yes, I
does
am.
not answer us.
Amazing.
Oh, never mind. Okay, that's the first.
Alright, so...
Maybe he
Baked,
does exist.
I actually do have a question for you. This is directed towards you only, as always. So, my question to you is, and this would probably fall under the category of LPD. So, what exactly drove you to become an event host in LPD?
Well, at the time when I joined, really the only events we had were patrol events and the Most Wanted event and some bait ops. So I kind of wanted to try my hand at trying to help and contribute to creating a new event, which didn't exactly happen how I planned, but I have helped with a few events. Like most notable, our new search warrant event that we've been doing, which has been quite popular.
Oh yeah, it's always the search warrants. Yeah, for those of you who don't know about it, it's quite interesting. It's actually a local thing. It's kind of like what the Syndicate does in a way, because the Syndicate's all, at least from the social RPs I've seen, it's all local. Like, there's no incoming players who you don't know or anything. It's basically the community playing with their own. And that's a lot of fun, I will say. Alright.
Andrew. Andrew.
No problem.
Yes.
We have another person from the comment section, and this is actually a very good question that we should answer. From Galaxy Hunter, I forget where I met them, but I know them. They want to know, what communities do we interview on this channel?
I might as
Well,
answer
I
this.
can answer this one, as I am the director.
Oh, well then, overruled.
So, yes. So, hello there, Galaxy Hunter. We actually interview any communities that decide to partner with us. They can also share us any bit of news that we can randomly talk about in our main desk over there. And such. Any communities that want to partner with us will usually appear on stream at least once, like Shield is right now. And it's kind of fun to be able to put your community out there. This is a good way to advertise for your community. Thank you for actually watching us.
Oh yeah, and another thing is too, to put some background on our two special guests here. Grand, of course, is a special guest too, but he's been here before. Actually, Wicked and Abler, before I brought them in here, they actually knew about our old way we ran, which actually, for those of you who don't know, we ran as LPD Live. Shadow, me, and Liz, and a few others remember that. Those were the old days, forgotten days. But, well, not forgotten, but old days. So, it was really cool when I heard Wicked mentioned that they knew about it, and Abe did too, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. It's awesome to hear people enjoyed what we did then, and we're still doing it, just a different format, and also it's not LPD. We're focusing on VRChat as a whole. So, but yeah, that's kind of how it works now, and we're so thankful that people come in, and as I said, like at the desk, for people who are now tuning in, we're always looking forward to other communities. You can recommend communities to us, you can have them reach out to us. We have a Discord in the link. I actually made that a brand new one, so it should work just fine. Feel free to send that to any of the communities that you're like good friends for community, and they can talk to us and talk to me as well, me, Shadow, Liz, whoever, and we can get them in here and either advertise them, cover them, whatever it may be, whatever the case may be. But anyways, on the subjects of questions, is there any other by the viewers?
We have a couple. From our most famous viewer, not even joking, he's here every stream. Captain Alex this is towards Baked Potato. Is the LPD still open for job offers? I have this habit of arresting a criminal who is terrified of the psychotic Captain Alex.
Oh yes, the LPD is always open, looking for new members. You can join our server at discord.gg/LPD. When you go there, you go to the recruitment section. Follow all the instructions there. The join requests usually take about or the applications usually take about a week to process. And then from there, you'll go and you'll request your training, and you'll become a full member of the LPD.
All right. And next one, we have two more after this. We have one for Abe Lord, and then we have one for me, Wicked, and Ryan. So one for Abe Lord. The question is from Tori no Yami. Question for Abe Lord. He said he had a partner in a state of instigation. Does he have an apprentice? Are you teaching anybody what you know?
I wouldn't technically say apprentice. I work with many people though. Whenever I work with people, I'm mainly just like, hey, just remember, check corners, flank left, flank right, make sure you don't get hit, basically. But no, I do not have have an apprentice.
All right. And the last question is for me, Wicked, and Brand for now, until somebody asks for a question. So it's basically all summed up as, and it's from Anonymous, by the way, which is mysterious. What things do you have planned for your communities in the future? I'll let Wicked go first, then Brand, and then I'll go.
Okay. Things planned for the future. Well, we do have a couple of projects on their way. We have EMT is almost ready to launch. We also have a TIU unit coming out, so that will be our tactical response unit. Who will go out there, and help with the patrol groups when they're in a little spot of trouble. Anything else is mostly media related, I'd say. We want to, start some video projects, some more poster stuff, decorate the station, because, everything is rather new to us in regards to, building our station, and because it's, a brand new station, so we need to, put away the boxes and unpack, and yeah, for some reason that's taking a little bit more time than usual. I'm gonna blame Frozen Fire for that, for not taking the boxes and put them in the back as I told them, but never mind. Yeah, we've got so many things coming, and the more people we get, the more fun we have. I'm sure the more amazing ideas we'll get from people who joined with creativity and just blossoming with beautiful ideas, and I can't wait. I can't wait for the future.
All right, let's move on to Grant.
Well, the Syndicate's going to be very, very busy. To start off with the exterior stuff, the lab unit and the Syndicate is going to be working together to do cross-community roleplay sessions more often, to where, Syndicate goes into the future and we go and, hang out with the lab and go and do some missions, go and kill a lot of random things and do this and that. Crime families criminal groups got to stick together because, criminal groups are pretty much the only type of community that exists that doesn't have idea drama as harshly as other groups presently. So we're keeping the criminal communities pure in that capacity. And we're going to start working together with the lab to do some wild stuff. I mean, just last Friday we had the Battle Disc tournament, which turned into a whole party with the LAB unit and their members. Met a lot of good people there, wonderful people. Labracadabrador is a wonderful boy. But also we've got numerous things going on in the interim. We've got myself and Dr. Greg running for president within the role play for what we're doing. We're going to be running for president, taking that right from underneath the good old-fashioned FDR, and we're going to, take over America. It's going to be fun. Join the Syndicate if you want to go and defeat the Grand Depression and be a part of the new era of Holy Rome or something. I don't know. But we've got also new aspects coming along, such as the antagonist program, headed by Ginger Tea, who I unfortunately have to go to his family meeting right now. The antagonist program is essentially going to be our open letter to communities that want to interact with us, saying, hey, you fill out this application saying you want us to be, go and raid patrols, join events as NPC criminals, do this and that and this and that. And, once we fill it out and we, discuss it internally on Sundays, today, after this, then we'll be able to interact with those communities as their antagonists. We've also got various things going on with, what's it called? New class systems coming out, the treasury system that we've already got working up, or, already got working presently, where instead of money being the main thing that people have to focus on acquiring is also food. Because the Grand Depression, there's a famine, there's economic strife, there's a homeless crisis, everything. The war progression system, we've got new worlds being made and updated every single, week. Josh Tricky's going to be fixing up the present world and whatnot. Dr. Grimm over there is working on the Order of Silence district of the East Babylon, I believe. The Shikaku are going to eventually get their world. We have new avatars coming out almost every single, day, every 2 days or so. I mean, even if Baked Potato was here, he'd have the Thug model on right now, but he's not here in the world right now. We've got numerous things coming out for the Syndicate. I mean, even myself, I'm going to be starring in the VRChat movie, as well as our community is going to be in the VRChat movie, where we get to have a gunfight with the LPD and their main characters and whatnot.
Of course. I kind of figured that. I was watching the trailer for that actually, and I never saw LPD or any communities that were familiar. Once in the trailer, I'm like, where's LPD?
Oh, stay tuned.
Oh boy.
Yep, they're making a new trailer,
Well,
I believe.
Moving on to me and the news community, we are constantly working. Well, we're not currently talking about it, but we are still constantly working on the things that we have already said we've been planning on, like, for instance, live footage on scene, live footage on scenes, stuff like that. We still need our world being made. We're working on that. We're also hoping towards more one-on-one interview videos and more pairing with communities. The more we can pair with communities, because the more they can say, oh, we have news right here, right now during our event. Come over with the news van. You know what I mean? We're working on a lot of cool ideas that I've already kind of talked about before. And we also got new people recently that I think are going to help bring this along more. Rand being our umbrella investor, and Danger being a new anchorman we have, who can talk about fun and unrelated news that we don't cover individually. So, and obviously Wicked, who I'm hoping will pair with us with Shield, which will branch out even further of both our communities into the world of VRChat. So.
Oh yeah, we'd love to. We've actually discussed before we even had the stream. We were like, if we were to pair with Shield, we could possibly go back to body cams. But how that would work would be different. We would not be doing it on Sundays like we do now. It would probably be more spread out. It would be on a different stream date, and the stream would only be for that. It wouldn't be news or anything like that. Every Sunday is our news days and interviews on the news team days. And that would probably be another off thing. It would kind of run like LPD Live in a way, but it'd be way different. Plus, it would be more verified and more official than LPD. Cause
it'd be more similar to live PD, like on real TV.
Oh yeah, that's what we're trying to aim.
That sounds awesome.
Of course, that's up to Wicked, and Wicked, if you want, you can talk about it now, or we can talk after stream.
Sure. I mean, look, we're always open to other communities, wanting to, expand and see what, we can do with others, So, I'm always up for doing something like that. And I think people will love that. I think they really will. We've got a few streamers, who'd love to get their fingers into that. So, yeah, it sounds great. I'd love to.
Awesome. Well, now that we got your answer on stream, we will be reaching out to you. You after the stream. Actually, we'll give you a community advisor role. Basically, what that is just you advise us, make sure we're doing things right, covering your community right, and make sure nothing's going wrong. So that way you can, and also it's a way you can communicate with us better, because there's some voice channels that members cannot access. But I'll go into more detail after the stream, Lizard and all that.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, that's great news
Roger
to
that.
hear. Great news.
We are reaching the 1 hour mark. Kashi is reminding us that.
Yep. We did discuss we may go over a few minutes, but we're not going to go too much over. So.
All right.
We're going to go ahead and move on here. Try to push through this. I appreciate the viewers asking questions, but now we're going to get back to asking questions with people here in the room. Very great to see a lot of viewers on today. It's reminded me of the day of the Q&A stream. Anyways, that's where I met Grant, actually. So, I have other questions for other people here. So, Gimme, here's a question. What had you form your family? What gave you the idea of making a family in the Syndicate?
Oh, Dr. Grimm. Grimm! Awaken!
Is Grim there?
Yes, he's there. He's just got to unmute. Talk on the Discord. Oh boy. Getting ready for the staff meeting here soon.
That's understandable then.
Repeat the question for him.
Can do. What gave you the idea of forming a family in the Mafia? Like, what was your main idea for that? And what made you want
The main idea was I joined another family and ranked up pretty quickly, but there were so many issues and I was not able to fix them on my own, and I didn't want to fix them and giving another one the credit for that and giving them the lead back again. So I thought that I want to create something on my own, and yeah, it worked out for me.
Awesome. Yeah, because I've seen a bit about your family before. I was asking around about the families actually one day, and someone, I think it was Bear actually, not the one that went on the something, the thing that made them run all over the place. I think the Bear Genius, I think was their name. Still getting to know people. But yeah, we explored all the family worlds and whatnot.
Oh yes, Zoomies.
Zoomies, that's what it was. The Zoomies. Killer. Alright.
If you're an animal person out there, be wary of the zoomies. You might get addicted.
Oh yeah. Very dangerous.
Or get it blown into your...
Don't take zoomies. So...
Take zoomies. Bye. Smoke!
In the RP.
So, here's another question. This is the final question for people, and then I'm going to ask our own crew some questions. So, Insane Grade, what brought you to the Syndicate? Did Grand come up to you?
Oh, God.
Or what brought you to it?
Well, as a lot of people might not know, I'm actually one of the original members back when Grand first actually started the Syndicate. He along with one of my other friends just joined my world at one point, introducing me to Grand. He seemed very intimidating at first. Then they told me their whole spiel about the old join the Lolly Mafia, have some fun doing a lot of miscellaneous things. I was like, I'm bored right now. I'll go along with it. So, yeah, I pretty much went along with it, and ever since then, I've liked what we've done. We've had fun with our community, people in our community, other communities that we've actually done stuff with, and yeah, I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. So.
Oh yeah, and there's actually some people too in the Syndicate who've been from other communities as well. And they come into the Syndicate, and I love seeing that too, because like one of them, Ginger, was actually originally in the police department, and I never knew that until I like started messaging them, and then I thought that was really cool to see. But
Did you know, dear Gabby, that the only reason that Ginger joined the syndicate entirely is because of this one right here? They're also in the syndicate.
really,
They're an associate. And that one over there. They're both associates within the syndicate. And they brought this one in to specifically tell Ginger to join the syndicate. Because, he was on the fence, like, I don't want to be joining the syndicate. I'm a good person. I'm a cop. I'm a pure cop. Never done anything wrong in my life.
He was a boy, and now the syndicate made him a man.
It was
That's what
a
Ginger
wild
told me.
time, John Gabby.
Yeah, Ginger told me that actually. He told me the Mafia guys came in, told him to join, including you, Grand, actually, I believe. And then they told the LPD officer, I believe, to tell him to join. And he said, yeah, join the group. And then he did. But,
Exactly.
yeah. I mean,
A referral from a good old-fashioned friend.
and for what Gray said regarding you being intimidating, I kind of felt that vibe too, actually, when we did the last Q&A stream. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's a leader. I felt very intimidated. You just seemed very scary, and then once I got to know you and you joined off me and all of that stuff, it really eased it. I just think it's a power thing that goes around everywhere, and including LPD, Shield, it's just everywhere, and maybe even ourselves. But I try to let people know.
My dear Gabby,
Yeah.
I'm not that intimidating. I'm not terrifying anything. So long as you don't get on my bad side and become like the furry I drowned in 5 inches of water, you'll be fine.
Exactly.
He's pretty vanilla.
Or the guy that I crucified at an abandoned amusement park. Oh, the LPD officers that I have fight to the death for my amusement. Or, do you know anything? I'm a kind person, Gabby. Never called anybody any bad names or otherwise. Never drugged people and forced them to kill each other for my amusement or fight in a gladiatorial pit for my satisfaction. I'm a good guy.
It's funny because
Ran for president.
the whole time, actually, during this stream, I've seen Shadow on my side here, just muted, losing it, just all over the place. And it's so funny to see. Which leads me to our next question. The studio now, we're going to hand it over to us. And I'm going to be asking the questions for all of you. So, Shadow, here's your question. Don't give me that. Here's your question. So, what do you feel like you've done so far in the studio?
So much
that's
emotion
helped
in a.
Lizard, shut up. What?
What do you feel like you've done in the studio so far that's helped overall? Like, whether it be being here, whatever. What do you feel like you've done the most?
What I've done the most? I don't feel like I've done absolutely nothing besides be here. I'll be honest.
I could have told you that. I know Shadow so well I could have answered that.
Yeah. But hey, it's entertaining to hear. I can be a little bit entertaining.
Shadow is here. Shadow is here because he is my absolute best friend, and he was here in the very beginning, kind of like how Gray was there with Brand as a founder. Shadow was a founder for this with me, and I couldn't imagine continue doing this without him, to be honest.
Yep.
And then you have me who comes in like 3 months later.
Well, kind of neat. You're different.
Yeah, I'm way different. I came in like 3 months later. So,
Yeah.
Actually, Lizard, I'm going to do this too. I'm going to let you ask me a question regarding the studio after this. So, Danger, right? Yeah, Danger. So,
Yeah.
I have a question for you. What gave you the idea of joining SA Studios? What interested you?
Kind of a hard question because I was actually Grand who was the one who told me, "Hey, go join SA Studios. Talk with Liz about this whole thing.
So
See what's going on."
wanted to take over more of our studio. Wonderful.
No, it was like a genuine.
Basically, Danger is in charge of the media team for the Mafia, and Grant's just like, here, join them, help them, combined efforts.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
Pretty much. I'm head of the media production team in the Mortesian Syndicate, so I have experience with kind of making content and doing all of that. So I was like, oh, there's a news broadcast thing that's going on? Oh, hell yeah, that actually sounds pretty interesting. So I joined off, and I don't know, it's been nice. I haven't been here very long like the rest of you have, but I'm enjoying my time here.
Oh yeah, we love hearing.
I'm glad to hear that.
We love hearing, because we've also heard that from Grandiners too. Because the last stream we did that was like this, but almost similar, to having this many people, was the Q&A stream. Everyone enjoyed their time there, and it was great to have a lot of LPD representatives, some MCR Rangers in there. Have the Mafia there, and also have an SCP guy just standing there. But I guess he was representing the community in a way, But it was really great to see all them people come in.
All right.
All right. Now, the final question from me to Lizard, and then Lizard, you're going to ask me a question. It could be anything. I don't care. Lizard.
And I have one final question from the community after, but
all right.
Continue.
Here's your question. And the question's very, very big, because it's how we're all here right now doing this. What was your inspiration for creating what you have created so far, and why?
Oh boy.
So, as we all know, and I can get socked in the teeth for this by the LPD as long as they want, but it's our history, I will not censor it. I started as an LPD streamer that I wanted to stream their events, but not like everybody else. Everybody just streams it for their viewpoints, and I was like, okay, well, I kind of want to make like a news way of doing this, make it more entertaining, flashy and stuff. And my inspiration was this is like live PD. I'm not even joking, live PD. So I got the founding 4 members, which I have talked about before, which is me, Shadow. There was Ava, who was a big help, who helps with cameras, and then there was Cause, who was content. We still have that role on our server, even though they left us as a little memory. And we all decided to do live PD. And at first, I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. I thought it was like, okay, well, people are going to see this.
I did.
They're going to think of it as just like they're going to think of it like just every other YouTube video in the sea of videos. And all of a sudden, it got way bigger than anything I've ever done before. I'm just like,
The LPD loved it.
oh, yeah. So, and ever since then, I just keep wanting to make it as best as possible. And it also sparked an idea of not really combining, but making all communities work together in a unity.
We
I'm a
had
big
that
fan of
idea,
unity. I love.
but the LPD supported that idea.
Yeah, they gave us the idea, actually, which I'm actually really glad they did that, because now look where we are. We're with other communities.
Yeah.
We already had the idea, but we didn't really pursue it as much.
Oh, wait, yeah, that's right. After we did the meeting. Yeah, that's right. Yep,
Yeah.
Apologies.
Me and Shadow had the idea of branching out as a community hub for a while before the LPD gave us that idea. We talked about it on stream a couple times, but we never really went anywhere with it until they told us basically, hey, stop covering LPD. Basically. I mean, they were nice about it, but that basically just sucked what they were talking about.
And they also gave us some options. One is led to an
Yes,
issue
they
where
gave us
everyone
options.
is
Like I said, I am not mad at the LPD. We have no problem with them. They have no problem with us. But it was time for us to become something more, basically.
Right, and we
And
branched off.
I'm kind of grateful we did.
Oh, yeah. And they also mentioned VRCon, which hopefully if we get bigger by the time of that, we can hopefully go to that as well and, like, represent ourselves at VRCon.
Yeah.
If possible, for really big, and a miracle happens, cover VRCon, which would be really cool. But again, that would take some time. So,
As a question for our great Andrew, This is not going to be related to the news.
Oh.
Actually, yes, it is. I have a question for you related to the news. Okay.
I was like, oh no. Yeah, what's up? Let's hear it.
How are you enjoying yourself here so far? I was going to ask something regarding to another friend, but you know what? Keep it simple. How are you enjoying your time so far? What do you think of this place so far?
What do I think of it so far? Well, it's definitely taught me a lot with
Keep it
the
simple.
media. I've made a lot of good friends, including Shadow Lizard and Grand, and all of them. Because I never knew anything about Grand until he randomly popped in, which was really great to see.
Somebody said my name 3 times and I was summoned.
But to be honest here, I found out about the group that was called LPD Live, and you guys always went up on that stage when I was a recruit, I believe, and said, hey, we were covering this, and I thought it was so cool. I actually reached out to someone, I think it was a corporal or something. I said, hey, who runs LPD Live? I kind of am interested in this. And I have some broadcasting experience, which I do. I know what, a pan is, a tilt, a long shot, extreme long shot. And I actually mentioned
This is also partially thanks to Baked Potato, by the way. He was one of the biggest people who let us up on stage top. So.
Oh yeah.
But continue.
I went in because what I originally planned on was joining it, being a little project, but no, it's expanded a whole lot. But then we had our little downfall with the LPD. But it wasn't bad. Let's be honest here, it wasn't bad. It was more clarification and clearing things up, as well as giving us an opportunity, actually, which I greatly am thankful for. And, of course, we had a lot of meetings then. I was typing up all the documents, trying to help as much as I can.
Back a bit. So we made more progress after that.
Oh, yeah. And I definitely coordinated a lot of things, making sure, hey, is this getting done? And, hey, is this removed? Because, we wanted to make sure we were on good terms. We want to be on good terms with every community. Of course, we've had our flaws with other people joining in. I'm not going to list the names, but we've had some flaws. But, again, for the most part, on most communities...
Yeah, I appreciate you being here.
Oh, yeah. And I've definitely enjoyed my time here. It's always great, and I apologize for not being able to stream host recently. It's just because Sundays were busy for some odd reason, but at least I was able to do it today, and we actually recovered a whole lot better today. And covered a lot more than ever, and had a lot more people here than usual. I was maybe expecting one.
One last question from the community towards Abe. Abe, if you're still alive. I hope you're alive. Do you have a pulse?
Do you have a pulse?
Yes, I have a pulse.
Abe, do you have... Okay, cool. Let's fix that real quick. Somebody have a gun? I'm just kidding. Anyways, this is from Curry Plays. Quick question for Abe. If these are still being read, I've heard Abe's name from people already. Does he know anyone else and the police should be worried about?
I'm gonna make this one simple. As an instigator, I kind of don't want to give that out because it'll ruin the suspense and the surprise factor of everything. So...
I perfectly agree. I've actually known that to be a rule for instigators. When I was part of the LPD, you were not allowed to, most of the time when instigators were involved, and one of the rules for the roleplay was you're not allowed to have your nameplates on, you were not allowed to look at the people inside of the social tab, you were not allowed to do that because it takes away from knowing who is there as an instigator. So, I agree. It would be kind of not beneficial to know. It takes away from the surprise.
He doesn't just instigate LPD. He instigates SHIELD too. And me and him have actually discussed,
I know.
Yeah, we discussed taking Wicked and Waffles, it's another person in the community, taking them hostage. That'll be fun when we do that. So.
Well, we are getting towards 15 minutes past our time limit, so let's wrap this up.
Yeah, we could definitely wrap it up.
It's that time of the day, folks. All right, so I want to thank Wicked, Ablard, Grand, and the rest of the Grand and everyone in the syndicate.
Let's get Kashi over here, please.
And
Kashi, can you come over here, please?
Kashi,
Because you
come over
are
here.
a part of us.
They've been just running around the whole entire time.
They've also been the person who's been typing in Discord all of the questions that I've been reading. So I want to give a
Those are good
huge thanks to Kashi.
Oh yes,
Kashi has been the one reading the chat and then pinning me for every question that's been going on. I want to thank Kashi. That is a huge help. And it makes it a lot more fun and easy. So
Kashi, thank you for helping set up streams as well, whether it be angling or whatever. Because some of that stuff, I don't know all the features of OBS. I mainly just know camera stuff. I don't know everything about software encoders. I definitely appreciate it.
I also want to congratulate Baked Potato. He is officially a stream host after being trained today. Congratulations on your promotion.
Congrats.
Thank you.
And you're not even in here.
My computer power supply decided it's going to pick now to destroy itself.
Yeah.
I want to thank Grand for being here. He is one of our greatest supporters, and I will always be grateful for him. There's a reason why he's the umbrella supporter, the one who's above us all. And I want to thank Wicked and Abe. I'm always happy to see more people here interested in us, and I'm always happy to see more communities, especially, be interested in joining us. It is a pleasure to have you guys here.
By the way,
and all of the decorations back there, I want to thank you guys for coming to.
Decorations.
I was not warned that anyone was going to come to it. I thought it was going to be a normal live stream, but the moment I saw Grant in the call, I'm like, all right, today's going to be a special day. Then I heard they're coming. Like, goddamn, it is going to be a beautiful day.
Well, we're going to go ahead and close up here. So, I want to thank everyone for in the lobby, in the voice call, and also the viewers here. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, and everyone for taking time out of the day to watch us. Greatly appreciate it. We also hit a peak of 20 viewers.
Hey, something.
Yes, Grand. What's up?
So that everybody in the VRChat world is aware, I wish to host an election for the president of VRChat.
Where do I vote?
If you would, you vote and it'll come out soon. Okay. If you wish to run for president and vice president, then stay tuned and vote for Grand. Now you can continue.
I will say I support you on that, but that is a really bad idea in the grand scheme of things.
All the way. Fuck you.
All right.
As always, this is SA Studio News. Signing off for tonight.
All right, and also I will say before we head off, if you want to join our Discord, you're more than welcome to. It's in the description. And if you have any communities in mind, feel free to join. Other than that, as Lizard said, this is us signing off for the day. Take care, everyone. Be safe. Have a great day, evening, and a great night.
And happy holidays. It's a holiday.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes.